Hello everyone, it's Brett here, Lionheart84, and I've got quite a promising development here for the first time, not the first time ever, but quite surprising and quite satisfying if this progresses to a later stage than it is currently at the moment. What we're looking at here is my MEIWA kumquat. Now, if you recall, I very recently repotted the plant, probably only about 3 weeks ago. It was in the original soil mix that it came from. It came in from the citrus centre. It hadn't really grown much last year or done a lot. I did get, I seem to remember, a handful of flowers last year on it, but they didn't amount to anything or set any fruit. And one of the problems with kumquats in the UK is, although they're one of the hardier citrus, they're extremely hesitant to flower again after the first time you bought them, because when you buy them they're invariably covered in fruits. Not I might add in the case with this MEIWA, but when you buy the Fortunella ones from nurseries, garden centres, florists, supermarkets, and they've got those lovely little orange oval fruits on, one of the issues is they don't reflower because they need much more heat than most citrus to stimulate fresh flowering. Now, at the time I'm filming this, coming into the last week of June, we have had a week of very nice temperatures, unusually warm really for June. Tend to get them in July, but I mean, we've regularly had temperatures in the mid to high 20s, so in the high 70s and low 80s, and that has been enough to trigger this MEIWA into producing loads and loads of flower buds. I think it's also because I've repotted it and it's stimulated the roots. I've moved it from their quite fibrous organic barky mix. I've moved it into a 4-part mix, which was 1 part horticultural sand, 1 part perlite, 1 part peat, and 1 part John Innes number 3. Now, I don't know if it's the really warm weather we've had or the repotting in the new soil mix that has triggered this, but this is very close to opening flowers on it, and it has got dozens of flower buds. I've only ever had half a dozen flowers on it before, but there are dozens and dozens on it. Now, I'm hoping that if we get a continued warm spell, and it is meant to be in the low to mid 20s next week, which would probably be enough, I'm hoping that this MEIWA is going to flower profusely and maybe set 1 or 2 fruits for me, because I would love to try a MEIWA kumquat. I've never tasted one. I've only had the oval Nagami types, which have obviously a sweet rind or peel, and they're sour inside, whereas the MEIWA, I believe, is meant to be sweet inside with a slightly tart peel, so it's meant to be a slightly more pleasant eating experience. So I'd really love to get one. I've no idea how long the fruits take to form. I'm assuming 6 months. Well, if that's the case, I'd probably come about October, November, try and move it to somewhere warmer like the summer house, not because the cold weather would be a problem to the plant, but because it might cause the fruits to drop if it sets any. Obviously we don't know at the moment what's going to happen, but I'll most certainly do another short update once all these flowers open, and if it does set any fruits, I'll certainly do an update video on that. But anyway, that's very, very exciting that the combination of the very warm weather and probably the repotting has triggered this plant into flowering. I hope it's not stress flowering, because it's not like in the repot, but we'll have to see what happens. But I know that's going to interest some people, and it's certainly very, very exciting for me, so I'm going to carry on documenting this one. So that's my MEIWA kumquat. That's Fortunella crassifolia coming into flower. Thanks for watching the video. Please give me a big thumbs up. Share it if you think anybody would be interested in the MEIWA. Please subscribe to my channel, otherwise you're not going to know if this progresses any further. And for the same reason, you've got to remember to click the bell so you know when new videos come out, because I will eventually do an update on this. Well, I'm going to do an update when it's in full flower, and then if any fruit's set, I'll do an update on it for that as well. See you on the next video. Brett out for now.